and we finally put together the technology to pull this off. And hoping by doing this, because my shows have decreased over the years, my Today specials have decreased over the years, hopefully we'll be able to return a little bit more frequency by making this able to happen more frequently. So, and first and foremost, we wanted to start with our Today special, our Ultimate Friendly Flora, which is a brand new version of that formula. We've made changes in that formula over the years. We do that with virtually every formula. We're constantly improving it. But the improvements today to our Ultimate Friendly Flora are truly the greatest that you've seen. You might look at the label and say, wow, it looks pretty much the same. But the actual characteristics of the strains, of the species of probiotics that we've used have dramatically improved their stability of the bottle, their stability in your stomach, because it has to get by the acid in your stomach, and then its ability to deliver its benefits to your immune system, to your digestive system, to your urogenital system, to your respiratory system. So it's already a almost perfectly reviewed product. Now, it truly has become a perfect product as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it really is the finest of its kind, and folks, no refrigeration required. We'll get into this a lot because this is the time of year where really this is going to come to good use. I want to go over the pricing because today's pricing is the best of the entire year. 4 size options, 30, 60, 120, or 240. This is where the pricing normally is in that column. Here's today's special pricing. If you go for the larger size, you save more than you're spending, and it's on 4 FlexPay. I started taking it because I was challenged with acid reflux and acid medication that I was taking. But for many of us, we don't really realize that this is not so much an option. It really is critical to get that Friendly Flora into our system is so important. And as Andrew mentioned, this is day number 1, the worldwide launch. Andrew, you would mention that this is the biggest leap since the very first Friendly Flora product. It's more stable than ever before, and therefore, I suppose, more effective, right?
Well, that's the key, and most companies really don't consider all those attributes. We started our investigation, our research on a probiotic product over 30 years ago, but it wasn't until about 20 years ago that we finally introduced a product, which gives you a sense of how patient I am about creating a product. First of all, I realized that if I created a product that required constant refrigeration, like vigilant refrigeration, it wasn't going to be practical. So I had to develop a product that delivered its benefits, but didn't have to be refrigerated and could stay stable for a year, 18 months without any problems at all. So that was a difficult accomplishment. It took more than a decade. And since that time, we've only continued to improve it. And as I said, this being the greatest improvement that we've ever performed on this product, I could show just on this first chart here. I'm not sure if we can get this first chart up here. But on this first chart here, it shows the subtle changes in the strains and species where we have still over 25 billion, it's not million with an M, that's billion with a B, 25 billion colony-forming units per capsule. That's not per 2 or 3 or 6, that's per capsule. So 25 billion, more than 25 billion colony-forming units per capsule. We not only tell you what the strain is, we tell you its specific identification. So our Lactobacillus acidophilus LA14, if you reviewed clinical studies, you would find that these are the strains that are discussed in the clinical studies. Our Lactobacillus plantarum LP115, our Lactobacillus paracasei LPC37, and our Bifidobacterium lactis, 2 different strains, HN019 and BI04. We've created a formula that's even more stable than our prior formula. And again, I have a chart, a science chart that will go through this, but it's not enough to put great strains in a capsule. Those great strains have to stay stable in that capsule. Those great strains have to survive the pH in your gut which can be as low as 1 or 2. That's the most acidic environment imaginable. So it has to be able to survive that. And then like a farmer planting seeds in a field, you want those probiotic organisms to take hold. You want them to germinate. You want them to propagate. That is the only way you experience their benefits. So that is why we're constantly at the drawing board. We're constantly analyzing the product, making changes with the product, improving the product, so your benefits improve. Because the benefits to this product, you mentioned gastroesophageal reflux disease. This is not a cure or a treatment for that, but so many of us take these acid-suppressing drugs that today are incredibly powerful. In the old days, we took a Tums or a Rolaids, which was just buffering. Now we take these proton pump inhibitors that actually inhibit the secretion and the creation of hydrogen ions, of acidic ions. So we are dramatically elevating, unfortunately, eliminating that acidity, which is necessary for digestion, necessary for the healthy environment for our probiotics. So we are disrupting our digestive system with these proton pump inhibitors, with all the antibiotics we must take and all the other medications. So it absolutely is essential in modern times because our food supply is also sterilized. In the old days, we were out in the dirt, we were growing things ourselves, we had our hands in the fields, we were among the probiotic organisms. They lived with us, we lived with them, and no longer is that the case. So we really need to supplement them because our food supply is sterilized. So it's critically important that we really contemplate what we're doing. And with my products, you know, this comes of decades of experience, there are thousands of strains you could choose from. And some companies get cute making this claim or that claim, medical claims, and I really don't like the fact that these products are being positioned almost as medicines or drugs. They are not that. Probiotics are an essential part of who we are. The probiotics in our colon contain more genetic material than we contain genetic material in our entire body. There are more probiotic cells in our colon, just our colon, not all the other systems that rely on them, but just in our colon, than we have cells in our body. If we think that's an accident, it is not. They are not just these foreigners living in our body. They are an integral partner. They are an integral part of healthy digestion, healthy immune system function, healthy brain function. There's no escaping that. So again, this is our best pricing ever on this product. It's our best product ever because we constantly improve it. And if you loved it before, we didn't make dramatic changes. All we did is take the species and the strains that you love and improved each and every one of them and increased the potency of the product as well. And again, best pricing ever.
There's so much to unpack there. What Andrew just mentioned is so important that we all kind of absorb this information, and that's what Andrew loves to do the best, is to give us the information that we need. It's critical. For me, Ultimate Friendly Flora is a very important product. I now never go a day without it. It's essential for so many reasons, as Andrew said. We've got to give our body what it needs. This does not require refrigeration. This gives you the highest potency. So if we're going to do anything, if we're going to take any vitamins or any supplements, we want to make sure that they are the best they can possibly be. The pricing today is a real driver to invest in ourselves because we hear these words and Andrew makes it affordable for us. So, you know, for what Andrew's done, day one, the first time ever on the air, the brand new, more potent, more stable, best formula ever, that's where the pricing normally is. If you order it today before midnight, you're able to get it at the lowest pricing of the entire year. So most of us, as I did before I came on air today, I got the 240 capsules, $89.90. I'm saving more than I'm spending. Okay, this isn't something where there's a side effect. This isn't something where there's any downside to it. It's all good. And Andrew, to your point, this is so much more. It's about digestion. It's about more or better nutrient absorption. It's regularity. It has that knock-on effect throughout.
Well, if all we did was consider our brain, consider our mood, consider how we move through the world consciously as a human being, there is no escaping, no avoiding the fact that there is a deep and very profound connection between our gut and our brain. In fact, most people, if you ask them where serotonin, if they know that serotonin is a critical neurotransmitter, a parasympathetic focused, a relaxing sort of focused neurotransmitter. If you ask most people, where is serotonin secreted? They'd say, oh, it's secreted in the brain, obviously. It's an important neurotransmitter. It's secreted in the brain. No, 80% of that serotonin is secreted where? In the gut, in the small intestine, dependent upon that probiotic organism, those probiotic organisms to do so. So there's no escaping the connection. Our urogenital health. Again, if we want to have healthy bladder, kidneys, urinary tract, respiratory tract, all the openings to our body rely on probiotic organisms to keep themselves healthy. It is part of the immune response to our body, to those openings in our body, which are areas of potential vulnerability. So we think about this when you see the ads for all these probiotic products. They're promoting them as like drugs, basically, for the digestive system. But these are an integral part of who we are. As much as we might think we are the cells of our body and these probiotic organisms live inside us, they outnumber us. And in a healthy body, they outnumber us, and it's a perfect balance. And what we do with our product is we make sure we focus on the balance that gives you the probiotic species that you want, that have been the focus of the clinical studies, that have been the focus of the research for decades. And what we've been doing constantly is improving that formula. What I was going to do is just read a few reviews. We have some reviews here, and then I'll probably dig into the science before we run along. Just to let everyone know, I think we're roughly already halfway through our quantity, so whether it's our Ultimate Friendly Flora, or whether it's going to be our PC Liver and Brain, or liver antioxidant extracts, we are way ahead of schedule on all of them, so they will be running out before the end of today, unfortunately. And because this is a brand new formula, we didn't perhaps make as much as we would have made, so it's something, again, that we struggle because there are so many different probiotic species that are specifically and uniquely blended and balanced for us. Again, I say this about my turmeric, I say this about our omega-3s. We make our products. Most vitamins you buy are not made by their manufacturer. It's manufactured by a contract, a co-packer, somebody else. So everything we make is specifically made for us, for you. So sometimes that's the limitations we struggle with for today's special. Usually we have enough for everyone. I'm not confident that's going to be the case today. But just reading some reviews on our Ultimate Friendly Flora, and this is the old version, which the new version takes it and makes it more stable, enhances it, makes it more active and more beneficial. So as we look here, these are just what my doctor wants me taking. I have stomach issues and have been told to take a probiotic that has a combination of different live cultures, which is what we do here. So Ultimate Friendly Flora fits the bill. Ultimate Friendly Flora, this is my 5th reorder. I will never be without this. There are no other probiotics that compare to this one. I've tried numerous probiotics, and the only time my doctor has positive news is when I'm taking Andrew Lessman's product. 5 stars on this one from Marie in Illinois. Only probiotic that works. And we have dozens of reviews that speak just the same. I'd purchased this product previously, and it was the only product I've used that worked consistently beyond a week. It worked well with digestion, no heartburn, no discomfort, and regularity. Another surprise, after I ran out, within a week I noticed my annual spring allergies returned and had difficulty sleeping. Once I received my reorder, I noticed my allergy symptoms improved within 2 weeks. Again, immune system implications. I don't think I will ever go without Ultimate Friendly Flora. Just what the doctor ordered. Ultimate Friendly Flora is an excellent probiotic, and I also love the fact that doctors now recognize these are not optional ingredients. These are an integral part of who we are, how our digestive system and immune system functions. So within a week, my bloating and discomfort, and most importantly, my constipation was completely gone. I love it. Feels so much better. I just wanted to wait until I had a chance to see what this product would do before I wrote a review. I've been taking 1 capsule a day for 6 weeks now, and wow, I feel so much better. I rarely feel good after I eat, even with a strict no-gluten diet. I noticed after a few weeks of taking Ultimate Friendly Flora that after I ate, I didn't have that annoying feeling of bad digestion. I didn't feel anything, which is wonderful. I've been taking another name brand probiotic for years and decided to try this. I'm not a name brand, but we certainly have the quality. I'm so happy I did. Taking this product has made a huge difference in my life. Thank you so much. Good product, cheaper than at drugstores, cheaper than virtually everywhere. My husband, when you look at what you're getting, cheaper than virtually everything. My husband has to use a probiotic due to ongoing antibiotic use. So many of us have to do the same. We used to go to the drugstore and pay $27 to $29 for a month's supply of probiotics. Here, you're getting a 240, you're getting an 8-month supply. So if you divide that per month, what does that end up being? About $10 a month. He wanted a wide variety of strains as well as a high quantity. We tried Ultimate Friendly Flora when we were ordering Andrew Lessman's Turmeric 400. He loves it. This 180 count bottle actually saves us so much money. Can't go wrong with this product. And only once a year do we do a 240 count. And that's today for the Today Special. Can't live without this. I absolutely can't live without Ultimate Friendly Flora. I've been taking this since 2015 and have not had any stomach issues since. I was always bloated, could not eat certain things, and always felt awful. When our digestion doesn't work, our lives don't work. I went through many tests for my constant bloating and upset stomach, and they could not find anything wrong. I started taking this and haven't had a problem since. I ran out last year during a move and had to wait to reorder. I went about 2 weeks without it, and the issues started to come back. I will never be without it again. I bought enough to last 2 years. Thank you. You don't have to do that. We always will make sure this is available. And every year around this time, we will do a Today Special. Thank you, Andrew, for such a great product, along with the many other vitamins of yours that I take. Just a couple more. The best probiotic. I just received this bottle shortly after Andrew Lessman's recent airing. This is the best probiotic out there on the market. I just visited my doctor again, and he took another scraping and viewed it under a microscope. He said he saw very good germs. He is always impressed with the good germs. He only says this when I'm using this product. I ordered him a small bottle as a Christmas present. Thank you for such a great product. Probiotics are important. As my husband and I are over 55, I believe probiotics are important, especially for my husband, as he has lymphoma and has received chemotherapy. Everything seems to be better regulated when we take probiotics. I mean, chemotherapy, unfortunately, it can be very toxic to our body, including our probiotic organisms. There are no indigestion complaints and no feelings of nausea after meals. We still eat yogurt and drink kefir, but it is difficult to consume enough to be effective every day, and we make sure it's effective. With the addition of Ultimate Friendly Flora, we feel, or I feel, confident we are getting what we need. This works. My husband had a total hip replacement and is now awaiting knee surgery. He's in bed 75% of the time and is on pretty strong pain meds. He had bowel movements once a week if he was lucky. Oh my God. Laxatives gave him cramps and discomfort. Then I saw Andrew Lessman speak about this product. The answer to our prayers. 1 capsule each day and my husband is back on track. I also took these while undergoing chemo. It was much easier on my intestines than laxatives and healthier too. Thank you, Andrew Lessman, for a great product. Check with your doctor first. As I always say, it's not a drug or a medicine, but this product works great for us. Always keeping these on hand for our daily regimen. We take several of your vitamins also. Wow. So it's an opportunity to see the difference these can make.
And these are real words. I mean, as Andrew reads these, it's so compelling because it's real. There's over 1,300 of them online at hsn.com. You heard Andrew make mention that we are way ahead of schedule, and we are indeed. More than 50% now sold out. If you're heading out this afternoon or you're busy seeing friends or family, these will be gone, folks, by the end of the day. I want you to try it. We talk about probiotics. We've heard and seen, read the importance of them. We know we've got to have them. Let's take the world's finest. Today, you're buying the best it has ever been. I want to show you this pricing because we only have 5 minutes left before we go to our second and third Today's Special, which is going to be PC, liver and brain and liver antioxidants. The best in the world at the best pricing ever. It has never been a more competitive, more affordable day to invest in yourself. Before they sell out later today, I want to make sure you get yours like I got mine. Do a try me if you so desire. Nothing wrong with that. Do a 30 caps. It's less than a $20 bill. Okay, you save $10. 60, 120, 240. Our producer let me know that over 85% of all of our orders are coming in for this size right here. And you can see the reason why. After today, if there was any left, it would be $180. If you order today, well, you're saving more than you're spending. It's $89.90. There was a fabulous review just now from a lady discussing pricing and what you pay in the drugstore for, quite frankly, some inferior products. This is competitive. It's affordable. It's funny because for as much as Andrew is so passionate about bringing you the finest, no compromise ingredients, Andrew, the other thing that I know you've always sought to do is bring them in at prices that we can afford.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the most difficult things with probiotics, that the products out in stores, probiotics can be inherently unstable, and now a lot of companies are making products that don't require refrigeration. I'm not sure if they go about it with the same degree of diligence and demanding nature that I do. So who knows how long it's been sitting in some warehouse or some shipping trucks or things like that. When you're getting this product, as I said, this product didn't exist in terms of the Ultimate Friendly Flora. We probably started making this product less than a month ago. So you're getting it fresh to you. It gets shipped to you quickly and rapidly. We also make sure when we produce the product that it says more than 25 billion, because when we make this product, there's actually more than 30 billion and close to 40 billion colony-forming units per capsule. We do that because we know that some of you might be a little unkind to the product. And even if you are, we want to make sure that this gives you all the benefits, all the potency. And what we also did, we made them more stable in the bottle. More importantly, we made it more stable in your stomach, because it has to get through. It's sort of like running the gauntlet, as they say. Your probiotic organisms have to survive the acid and enzymes in your stomach in order to do the wonderful work it does in your body. That can't be ignored, and most companies do ignore it. Also, we also contemplate how well those organisms are going to populate. So it's not good enough to say, well, we put it in the bottle, there we go. You got to consider all of these other things, or you're making a half-baked, half-cooked probiotic product. And what's most important, you want it to be affordable. You know, I see products that are a few dollars a dose for a probiotic product. We've managed, especially today, to make this even better and even more affordable than it's ever been before. So it's a great opportunity. And as I said before, saying that we could live without probiotic organisms within our digestive tract would be like saying you could live without your kidneys or live without your liver. I mean, it's just that extreme. They are an integral part of healthy digestion. They're an integral part of a healthy immune system. So yes, most of us have probiotics, but it's not a healthy balance because of the way we eat, the way we live. I think we pop those proton pump inhibitors that you were talking about, those very sophisticated antacids, like candy. They're among the most popular drugs we consume. And all different drugs affect the environment in our digestive system. I was just going to read some quick science here, if I could. Then I'll bring the dogs over. Actually, I'm standing. We haven't really moved into Santa Monica yet. I wrote in my blog that after a couple of years of feeling frightened and threatened by fires and whatnot in Malibu, and Muriel and I only spend a couple of months a year in California, but it's near my mom and near my dad and near my goddaughter, that we decided to get away from that craziness. So we're going to be moving into this place eventually in Santa Monica. That's the kitchen, I should say. That's Muriel's room. And so it's fun to just do this and introduce everyone to where we'll be. And hopefully we'll do a few shows from here in the future. But these charts here, just are some quotes from the science. And again, if you want to talk about probiotics and science, we're not talking about a few hundred research studies or a few thousand research studies. We are talking about tens of thousands of research studies. We're talking about studies that far outnumber even the most reliably clinically tested medication you'd ever contemplate using. So that's the kind of clinical support and research that goes into a product like this. But this is from the Biomedical Research International. Probiotic intervention, meaning taking a probiotic with or without a specific diet composition, would help to improve the microbiota functionality in order to obtain health benefits during old age. And as we age, once we get over the age of 30 or 35, that's when we really, and that's not old age, but that's when we really start to see the impact of our microbiota. Likewise, the presence of some beneficial microorganisms in the gut could help to prevent or delay some age-associated health issues, including age-related memory changes, age-related immune response. These are things that really determine our health as we age. The role of gut microbiota in human aging include two main aspects: immunomodulatory, how it affects our immune system, and also nutritional, energy availability, metabolism, absorption of nutrients. I was going to skip ahead here. There was a great chart here that, where was it? Hence, this is from Case Reports in Medicine. Hence, restoring a balance of microbial flora is essential in the presence of various UTI-promoting factors such as synthetic lingerie, intimate perfume washing gel, and tampons. So things that might affect UTIs, probiotics can tend to counteract them. Probiotics are thought to aid at the GI tract of female reproductive organs to resist invasion and adhesion of uropathogens, regulate intestinal flora, decrease constipation at the right doses, enhance the immune system, and increase the population of lactobacillus that modulate local pH. We can go a little bit longer here because I just want to cover a few more of these charts. From mammalian genome, there is a growing appreciation that the microbiome plays a vital and active role in the development and function of basic physiologic processes, including digestion, growth, immune defense, and more recently has been shown to influence brain development and mood. I was going to skip ahead to the one chart that really, as you can see, there's so much science on these things, that sums up how we go about making this product differently. And where is it here? I know it's somewhere in here because I remember reviewing it. But this just gives you a sense of all the abundance of research. And where is it? It's probably at the very bottom, of course. I don't even see it here. Unfortunately, it's not here. But what it talks about is what I mentioned before, that when it comes to our ultimate Friendly Flora, what we do is we focus specifically on what the science told us we needed to do, that we need to create a species, strains, that are the most important to our body that have been clinically reviewed. We do that. We need to make sure that they remain stable in the bottle, come what may, stable in that bottle. Then they need to survive the acid in your stomach. And that acid in your stomach destroys virtually everything, breaks down whatever food we eat. Then it needs to get into the other organs, especially our colon and other organs, and populate it efficiently to deliver the benefits you seek, or you are wasting your money. And unfortunately, with a lot of probiotics on the market that are sitting on store shelves and warehouses and God knows where, you're likely wasting your money. This is a freshly made product, freshly and newly designed, and it's already an almost perfectly reviewed product, so imagine how well this one will be received.
Yeah, and it's important to know that Andrew is HSN's #1 most beloved, most well-reviewed brand, folks. You're buying the very finest. Thank you for your orders. Andrew mentioned it, and I do want to stress to you, we're over 50% sold out now, especially in that larger size. I think there's a lot of excitement and buzz around today being day 1, the worldwide launch of the newest formula ever, so certainly take advantage while it's there. So I said there was 3 today's specials. That was #1.